What's up, guys? This is Alexander King, and NF has just released a new song. Now, guys, for those of you that are a bit more familiar with the channel and with my content, you guys probably know that most of what we cover genre-wise revolves around rock music, hard music, heavy metal, whatever it is. It's like even my own music. It has to do with that sphere, that macro genre under rock music. That doesn't mean, of course, that I do not listen to anything else in my spare time, and NF is a perfect example of that. I do enjoy hip-hop. I am not an expert in hip-hop. I am, of course, trying to keep up with the trends and everything like that as a producer and as a indie record label owner. You know, you also have to stay updated on what's going on in the music industry, and that's kind of how I found this guy out a few years ago. He has such a distinctive style. I became a fan, to be honest, instantly as soon as I heard what he was doing. He has a very cinematic style and all of that, but the song that he released, the first single from the album, the upcoming album, called Hope, he released that like a month ago. To be honest, it's probably the song that I've listened to the most so far this year. And trust me, even if you're not into hip-hop music, there will be elements that you will enjoy about that song, but about many of the songs that this guy did in the past. So without further ado, I will explain a bit more what those elements are and why they appeal to a broader audience later on in the analysis. But I'm extremely excited and curious to hear what's coming next from this guy. So without further ado, NF Motto. Let's go.
I could write a record full of radio songs, do a bunch of features that my label would love, do a bunch of features that I don't even like, just to
the
build
music
up the
videos as
hype.
well are
Yeah.
phenomenal all the
I
time.
could sell my house and move out to LA, get inside of rooms with the biggest of names, hire 50 people
Already
just to
the
give
contrast
me
between his
advice
style
on
and
the way I should write.
everyone else
Oh
around.
God, yeah, sounds like a nightmare if you ask me. Yeah. Went from my bedroom to the big leagues. You know how many times that I was told things wouldn't work but worked out. Having cold feet didn't keep me from success but delayed it some. I used to be the guy who killed to get it number one. I had to hear that song's a hit before I thought it was, but nowadays I don't really give a what? Oh God, might catch me in the
Oh, nice.
eating popcorn in the back row.
Now I always talk about dynamics, guys. The production is unreal.
Yeah, I miss buying CDs at the store and thumbing through the cases trying to make a choice. That don't make no sense to you, well, of course. See, one man's inconvenience is another's joy. Wow, wow, how are you unemployed? Telling me to get a life, you should look at yours. Yup, congratulations, you can raise your voice. Hope you break both of your legs falling off your horse.
Ah,
This
guys,
is the
the lyrics.
industry where it ain't how big you are, it's how big you seem. Where people sacrifice the art trying to chase a dream, and they wonder why their music's lacking creativity.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Wouldn't gave anything to be respected by the artists I was listening to, but not no more. Them days of history. Skip the red carpet, you looking for me? Oh God, yeah. You might catch me at the award show, eating popcorn in the back row, catching Z's with my hat low. No nominations, but it's cool though. Oh God, you might see me in the same clothes.
I love the concept of this. Wow.
You heard this saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my motto. Got my feet propped up, leave my shirts untucked. I'm the boss, so what? I do what I want. Oh God. You got the trophy, that's great. I'm happy for you, no hate. Still got a smile on my face, chilling in the back like, hey, oh God, yeah. You might catch me at the award show,
I mean,
eating popcorn in the back row, catching Z's with
I dare anybody to come to me and say that this is not kind of like punk music.
You might see me in the same clothes I had on last week in my shame, no. Yeah, you heard this saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my motto.
Oh yeah, guys, the production is so. Guys, I love this. I love this for so many reasons. I have a feeling that this might be a slightly longer analysis. There are a lot of points that I do want to touch upon. First of all, he's clearly following what he said in the first song, in Hope. It's a new version of NF. It's like his lyrics have always been very introspective and dealing with his own issues, being that depression or anxiety. He's always been very candid about the things that he was feeling and using his music and his, of course, his lyrics and his art to express what he was feeling inside and having people relate to that, which I think it's the main reason, besides the phenomenal production that's always behind his songs, because it's honestly it's so good. Honestly, it's so good. If anyone among you guys has any experience when it comes to producing music and mixing and mastering and the volumes and the way that they balance everything out, these can always be used as a reference, even if it's not in another genre, but the clarity and the power of the sounds that they use, it's phenomenal. But this is kind of a transition. It's still very introspective because it's talking about his own experience with the industry, with the music industry, and what's expected of an artist. But again, it's also a bit more of a commentary about the industry in general, which I really enjoyed. Again, as I mentioned before, for those of you guys that don't know, I do own a small indie record label. So when he says something about I miss, going to the CD store and just flicking through the CDs, vinyl, all of that, but it's just that feeling that I know that as a society, the way that we consume music and listen to music, that's shifting and that's changing. That's going to a very different direction, with the streaming, of course, and the music being digital and online. But that's a feeling that's very hard to replace. For example, it's just the connection. It's like a physical connection with the music that you're experiencing. It's more of an experience. You take, for example, the vinyl or the CD and you put it in the record player and it's like a ritual almost. It's like going to church for many people. I've heard that comparison many times and I honestly agree a lot. So I absolutely love his take on this, and what I meant when I said towards the end of the reaction, this is kind of like punk, because it's the modern version of punk in many ways. Because nowadays punk, I do not agree with defining pop punk as punk. Like there are people nowadays that say that Machine Gun Kelly is punk. No, Machine Gun Kelly is pop. Like he does pop music. You can like it or not, absolutely. I'm not expressing a judgment about the quality of the music, but it's pop music with guitars and Travis Barker at the drums. I don't think that qualifies as punk rock, to be honest. But again, it's a personal opinion, of course, and I'm happy to hear yours. If you disagree, down in the comments, let me know. But always happy to to trade ideas and trade points of views with you guys. But this has an edge to it. He is trying to shed a light on an aspect of the music industry that it's not the fancy and glorified one. It's actually kind of the opposite. It's like the pressure that comes from the industry to live that lifestyle when you're really not like that. And it's something that I know that a lot of people relate to in the music industry. Now, on a purely musical standpoint, I found this one to be less interesting than Hope, just because Hope had so many changes. Again, the dynamics were very interesting in this song as well, the way that the song built, but that's like a trademark of NF. Most of his songs just build and build and build and build and build. This one build and build, and then it was basically like a normal song. Of course, with the bridge and the chorus, the bridge was a bit lower in volume, etc., etc. But it was more of a normal song structure if you compare it, for example, again with Hope. very different. That song was like a constant climax towards something, and then suddenly drops and then builds up again, even bigger than before. Fantastic. So I found that that element in this song a bit less interesting, but the commentary about the music industry and what's expected of people, again, as an artist and a producer and someone that's involved in the music industry in many ways, I do enjoy this because again, it speaks to a lot of people, and I'm sure that a lot of people will relate with what this guy is saying once again. So yeah, guys, I'm extremely excited about the record because it's different. It's different from what I did before, so I do not know what to expect going into the whole release, especially considering already the differences between the first and the second single. What I will also say is that I was not expecting to laugh watching one of his videos because again, usually what he talked about were a bit heavier topics, at least, you know, in the more famous songs. They're introspective again, so the tone was much more somber and dark in a way. Not always, but you know what I mean, the general vibe. But again, it's what he says in the lyrics of hope. There is a change. Like he's taking the reins, as he says at the end of the song. It's like another chapter. He seems to be in a better place, and I'm very happy for him, of course. I'm extremely excited to see how that will reflect on the music. So guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. As always, social media, blah blah blah, aka Alexander King. New music coming out on the 13th of April, Amsterdam. The single is already available for pre-save on Spotify. I will leave the link down below as always. And make sure to stick around. There is a lot of content and a lot of different type of content coming your way in the next few months, but hopefully for a longer term. And I think it's fun. It's gonna be a fun journey, so make sure to stick around for that. Anyway, guys, I'm already blabbing way too much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next one. Bye.